just listen to that epic music. When you hear that, you know it's going to be an epic game. Kind of. Hello everyone, my name's Chris, or vaeriz, and this is going to be my first look video for Mythos, an action RPG MMO game that is very heavily based on Diablo. So let's head in and log in. Account name, password, and the English server. This is the second password screen. You just get to input a 6-digit number, and I've forgotten what mine was. There we go. I guess it's a little bit of extra account security for those who want it. Let's just delete my old character here and go ahead and make one. So to start off, we have to pick between the 4 races, which are Gremlin, Satyr, Human, and Cyclops, and they all have female versions. For this, we are going to go with a Satyr. I apologise if I am saying that wrong. There are 3 classes in the game. There is the Bloodletter, which, as you can see, is the more melee-oriented class. There is the Pyromancer, which is the caster class, and there's the Gadgeteer, which is the gunman, kind of tinkering bombs kind of thing. He has traps and things like that. But we are going to be a Pyromancer because, let's face it, who doesn't like to burn buildings down? No, I am just kidding. You definitely shouldn't go and burn buildings down. Okay, so we're just going to randomise and pick. Let's just go for that one and enter world. And I will say right now that this game is currently only in closed beta in North America. However, in Europe it has released, I believe, or it might just be an open beta. It's one of the two. It doesn't really make much of a difference nowadays, to be honest. So as soon as this loads in, we will be ready to go. So you can use W, A, S and D to move, or you can left click with the mouse to move around like that. You can also use the arrows if you so desire. It is really up to you. So let's accept this quest and go and kill the wolf that she wishes us to slaughter. The quest arrow above our heads shows us where to go, although that doesn't seem to be later on. The starting ability for the Pyromancer is basically this flamethrower style ability. It's called Flaming Fist, I believe. Yep, it is. It's pretty powerful, it's pretty cool. Although at the starting zone, everything is easy, nothing will kill you. It's very easy. So if we head left, like she said, and step into this dungeon portal, and this will send you to various instances with your party if you are in one. A lot of the game is in a persistent world. However, there are these kind of style dungeons around the place a lot. So I think it's kind of split half and half. I haven't really played enough of the game to get the hang of it, but it is definitely much more of an MMO than Diablo or things like that are, where you have to join your custom server with your friends or LAN party it up. This is on hosted servers, very much like other MMOs like World of Warcraft or things like that. You just have a lot of instances about the place. So let's confirm that, complete that, and now we are being sent to go and get a healing potion from this fine fellow over here, Jim. Hello Jim. So you can see the very Diablo-esque inventory here. I believe that some of the original developers for this game were from the Diablo team, although I'm not entirely sure about that because it has been developed by 2 separate people, 2 separate companies. I think it was discontinued by the first one, or put on a possible permanent hold, but then it was picked up by another company, and they've been developing it since, and they are the current developers of it. Let's run over here to do this quest then, shall we? You'll also notice that we have an unidentified cloak here, and you can just identify it by using identified charms. Pretty similar to Torchlight in that regard. I'm not sure how it works in other games, because action RPGs are a genre I've always wanted to get into, but I don't have anyone who is really interested in them. I don't know anyone else who's interested in them, and I think the multiplayer aspect is a very big part of it. So let's go ahead and do this crafting tutorial. As you can see, we just smacked that. It was 1 click to get it, and now we're going to craft this. We're going to create this hammer here, I think I just butchered that and failed. Clicked for a help tip. Create, and there we go, we created it. Let's go back to this guy and hand that in. So he's going to give us some disintegration equipment, which is designed to be a tutorial more or less for dismantling items in a crafting gear. So let's just do that. And we earned something, I don't know what. There we go, crude scrap. I don't know if we can craft anything with that. It doesn't look like we can. We can train up skills here. This is something that is brand new to me. I have played a little bit of this just to get my head around it. It is very easy to pick up, however I just figured it would be a good idea. But the crafting I didn't really delve into whatsoever. So let's just head on over to talk to this fellow, or this lady actually, it's Dia again. And she wants us to check out the two views. So the default is the isometric one like this, which in my opinion is the far superior one, but if you want you can also switch to this MMO style camera view, as they call it, and it's very much, well, like an MMO style camera, I guess. I find it much worse. It's much harder to control as well. It seems to zoom in and out randomly on its own when you turn it, and I just find it overall less efficient and much more difficult to use than the isometric one for this kind of game, to be honest. So I would definitely recommend the isometric view. So let's head on through to Windmill Village, which is the next part of the tutorial, I believe, or it might be just the first starting zone. And over here is the person we have to talk to. Hello, Tom. Could you go battle with the beasts at Small Plain? So we're going to head up to the dungeon portal again and head through here. I think, yep, Small Plain and travel. I would like to apologise for any lag that you see, any frame rate drops. It's nothing to do with my computer, honestly. I can run it on max settings at well over, 200 FPS. But when I'm recording, even though for the most part of it I'm recording, it's 60 or 90 frames a second it's running at, while I'm recording at 30 frames a second. It seems to drop down and have various spikes, and I know one other guy who did a review of this, he kind of brought my attention to it, who was also having the same problems, and he has a pretty godly computer. But we just went in and got those sharp teeth there, and I'm going to come back out and go hand those in to Tom over here. That's another player there, I believe we saw. Thank you, I fixed the fence. You're very welcome. So we are going to Lindsay's cellar to pick up a bomb now. Back to the dungeon portal. So I guess there are quite a lot of quests in the dungeon portal, but there are quests out in the persistent world as well. Here we are in Lindsay's cellar. What a wonderful place to be in. Lindsay's lovely cellar. And there's a spider there, gosh. And more spiders. That is a very big spider. I think we must have leveled up at some point, surely. Yes, so I can talk about this. I didn't notice myself leveling up earlier, but I will talk about this quickly. Each class has 3 trees. You can either skill up the general tree, which will give you passive bonuses and access to abilities deeper in the tree, or you can add them to individual abilities to rank them up. So we are going to just pick up this flaming dart ability, because I know this is actually a very cool ability. It's essentially a fireball. I've also put one in the tree at the side. I just wanted to pick up the flaming dart. Let's drag that onto our bar, and I will show you what it is. We'll just move on over to some enemies up here. It's a very, oh gosh, I'm behind the door, there we go, and it just flies straight through enemies, so it pierces through them and gets them all, and it's very powerful. What I find is it pretty much one-shots anything other than the kind of big boss style mobs that I've been sent to kill an individual, like, named mob for a quest, are the only ones that really stand up against it. But let's go back and talk to Tom now that we have the bomb box, and we can choose between 3 different quest rewards. We cannot use the leather gloves because they require high strength. However, we can use both of these, and I don't understand the point of these novice's gloves, to be honest, because they have 1 armor, whilst the brigand's gloves have 2, and I can use those with my default baseline dexterity. Maybe it's because I'm a satyr. Maybe it, I don't know. I have played a gremlin and they actually got better gloves, so it was a bit odd, which I was a bit miffed about. But let's head on over, and we are going to come on over to this guy up here who's going to launch the bomb for us. So let's talk to him, confirm, he will launch it, and explosion! So now we are going to go report to the main town. And I think with that will conclude my first look video. It just kind of shows you what the game is about. If you want to check it out, I will put the link to the Europe site and the North American site in the description. However, I believe at the time of making this, at least, you need a beta key to get into the North American one. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this showed you something interesting, and I will see you later.